but can you speak to what you feel like you have learned in this process of continuing to educate yourself about the Congo? Like, what is something that you feel like you may not have had a consciousness about because you're not from the Congo? But what is something that you feel like you may not have had a consciousness about until you started really like committing yourself to, okay, I need to be a voice for not just Sudan, but for the continent?
It's that lived reality that I cannot separate myself. Like, we say it, but it is a deep reality that it is truly all of us or none of us. And I think a lot of us understand that, on a
Cerebral.
very like cerebral, superficial level, when in reality, most of us don't actually know what it means to embody that. Right? We're so hyper individualized, that even to care about a cause, we need to have it relate to us. To even see the humanity over there, thousands of miles away, it needs to somehow touch us. Like, they need to prove themselves. They need to prove their humanity in order for me to even begin to care. Right? Yeah, it's not our default. Right? And so that to me was definitely one of my most like profound experiences, is starting to live and embody. And that is my brother, that is my sister, that is my kin, and actually operate from a truth, right? Like that is the truth that I need to hold in order to be able to continue to do the work.
Well, that was a word. That was a word. I feel like the biggest takeaways that I feel like everyone should be walking away from here with is not hopelessness. I know that when you said that you feel like we're in the very beginning of this, it can be very tempting to think that that means, oh my God, we can't just change, we can't fix it, we can't stop it. But I think one of the things that I got from that was your suggestions were all things that all of us can do. In one way, you can amplify your awareness by educating yourself, right? Like by literally saying, I'm going to have intentional learning, not passive learning. Passive learning is scrolling.
Yeah.
Intentional learning is where do they, when did they?
What is it?
Yes. Intentional learning. I'm really pushing intentional learning for folks. There's one. Two, the amplifying of people who are living in Africa, not just in the Congo, but who are living in Africa in the effort to begin to shift other people's consciousness and educate them through imagery of Africa as a bountiful place that deserves and that exists in worthiness.
Y'all need to get on Nollywood. If you don't know Nollywood, that's the Nigerian Hollywood. So like, if you just want something fun that you can like have a rom-com, like there's bajillions of shows and movies in Nollywood that can get you started.
Because when you talked about just like the reality of I guess what it is when you took the statement I had made earlier and said like, yeah, like it impacted me. Let me get my words right.
I'm gonna take a ginger shot while you do that real quick.
When you said that we need to show Africa in a positive light, it was like such a simple thing that I don't think I had considered as a tool. It was almost like I had decided that that was not necessary because we need to show what's really going on. And you really flipped it for me. And I'm so glad that you did. And you got me right because I was looking at it wrong. And really it's no, there is a disconnect because people don't see this as a place to protect. And you know what? I hate to say this too, but I said before, you got to relate to people. And sometimes what you
Mhm.
have to do is you have to speak to even their bad parts. So when you see people who are like, oh, I want other places to go, it's like, well, if you would protect Africa, you could go there.
Well, I even tried to work with the people who were like, I don't want any more, like the xenophobes. I don't want any more refugees. I'm like, cool, stop making them.
Great.
Stop making them. And then we're good.
That's a great example. Great. We don't want to come over here. If you would stop fucking up our shit, we could
We
stay
can,
home.
thank you. We weren't the ones who came to you. Y'all came to us. And then you made it so bad. Now we got to come to you. But like,
And the last thing that you said that really resonated with me for things that you guys can do is go.
mm.
Go. I mean, there's so many ways to go to Africa, and so many of us just kind of look at it as like it's so far, or like a lot of people consider like it wouldn't be a vacation.
Mm.
Like I wouldn't be a rest. It would be like
Okay, you don't know Africa then.
I know, but
You know?
that's what I'm trying to say. You
Oh my
established
God.
in the beginning.
Listen. Before all of this nonsense, even when we were like deep into our dictatorship in Sudan, like I would go in the summer, I was living lavish, I was living lux, I was enjoying life, I was at the Neil, I was at the cafes, I was living my best life.
Mhm.
Right. Y'all need to start pushing back on that narrative because right now you are still holding on to the lie of what Africa is so that Africa can stay that way.
And that's that. Mic drop. Thank you so much for always being down because I definitely hit Ty up and was like, will you come and talk?
I
Up and
don't
talk
want
to these people. And you all can follow Ty right here at Red Ma'at. This is my tattoo of Ma'at.
Hey, I can't. I'm gonna stay quiet right now. My mama might watch this later, so I'm gonna just stay real quiet.
Put it on the low. And if you wouldn't mind just naming a couple of the sites that or the pages that you feel like they would be beneficial in following.
Absolutely. So for the Congo, big recommendation at Congo Friends, at the Future of Congo, and at Shaka Bars because he's on the ground. Those are like my 3 recommendations for Congo. I'm gonna just throw in a couple more because we gotta like also show love to Tigray and Sudan. So for Tigray, if we can name Omna Tigray, OMNA, Tigray,
OMNA.
OMNA, Tigray. So TIGRAY. Okay. And then the other one is Tigray Updates.